Hey everyone, I just wanted to do a quick video and review the Argument Claims blog post. This is just going to give you some of the details that didn't make the summary video that I posted, but I still think they're interesting, and so yeah, I'll just step through it really quickly. I was going to start off with just another fun fact about Vivek Ramaswamy and why I thought he would be an interesting subject to study in terms of rhetoric and his speeches. So, he makes a claim in his speech. Actually, it's within the intro where he's talking about himself, building ethos, and he says basically, in summary, that he was inspired by the American dream, and that inspiration led him to become CEO of a very successful company, a multi-billion-dollar company. So, and then it was that exact same inspiration that led him to step down and enter politics. And so the backstory of this is, I actually heard this on the Jordan Peterson podcast when he was talking to Jordan Peterson. And yeah, so the story is that he was the CEO, and this was at the height of BLM, and I think he was getting pressure from his employees, and I'm not sure what other sources, but they were basically saying that he should write some type of support email, memorandum, either way. He just didn't feel that was appropriate. He didn't think that was true to himself. So that led him to step down as CEO, because he kind of saw the writing on the wall, and led him to write his book, Woke, or Wokeism. I can't remember the title. So he actually claims that he coined that term in, I think, a more negative sense. And then that led him to politics and running for president, which I think is an interesting backstory. So just wanted to share that with you. And there are other things I think are interesting about him, but I'll just save those for other videos so that I don't go on and bore you. So yeah, some of the things that didn't make the video. The first thing I wanted to talk about was I was going to go on a little bit about these fact claims, and that's because I invented them in a way. So if I did mention them in the video, there's the fact claim, and then I broke down the fact claim into two subcategories. There's the empirical fact claim and the theoretical fact claim. So I borrowed this idea from, really these are argument type terms. So I found that there is an empirical argument and a theoretical argument, but I found that I could use these for fact claims and then subdivide them, which I thought was very useful. So empirical fact claim being based on observation, experience, or data. So it's basically something that's a little more verifiable. So in Ramaswamy's speech, the majority of his empirical fact claims are based on his past personal experiences. And then the theoretical fact claim, these are based on ideas, logic, and reasoning. So a theory that has yet to be proven or disproven. So it's basically a lot of his cause and effect argument. So it's just a theory that he has, and that's the argument he makes in his speech. He's basically trying to convince you of his theory. Got to remember to breathe here. Okay, good. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, which I didn't talk about in the video, was this argument map. So I did revisit the argument map that I used to develop the line of reasoning and just visualize the argument. And here's the topology of the argument. I'll go ahead and open it up, make sure the link works. So I revisited it, and I tagged each claim which are basically just the verbatim snippets from his speech, as FE, which is fact imperial. I'll get to line reasoning that has different types. So this is a value claim. So yeah, just kind of, there isn't really a better way to use Kialo at the moment in terms of tagging things. I wish there was, but it's still a great service. I love it. But here's P for policy. So yeah, I just use these short acronyms to tag these. And I think that's going to be really helpful because it gives me insight into how I plan to counter argument that. So for example, with an empirical fact claim, that's really something I just need to go and verify. You know, it's not something I need to spend too much time on. However, you know, if it's a empirical fact claim that references data, well, we know that data can be skewed one way or the other. So I would still explore that and look into it. Whereas a theoretical, that's where true argumentation comes into play. So that's the most interesting. And that's just some examples. And I'm going to create a post about why I think, you know, this, as I thought through how to tag claims and what to call them. I just think it's better than, well, it works better for me, rather, in terms of how I look at an argument, as opposed to how a lot of people are being taught to argument map things in terms of, you know, putting the primary claim and then documenting the reasons and documenting the evidence and that stuff. So yeah, I'll go into that. That definitely deserves its own post though, so I'll do that. Here's the quiz. So it is a quiz that you can take to kind of test your knowledge of these type of policy claims. I'm sorry, just argument claims. Yeah, and hopefully you agree with my analysis. If you don't, let me know. And then, let's see, I think there was at least one more thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, the other unique thing that I didn't talk about is this is the only chart or dashboard that I made that has this type of drill down capability. And that's because of those subcategory fact claims. So if you just wanted to demo it really quickly, is if you want to drill down and see the fact claims, sub-fact claims, you can just click on either chart and say drill down. And now you see it pops up the empirical and theoretical. And then the NA is basically all those that are not fact claims. Unfortunately, I couldn't find a way to get rid of this. I'd rather just see these two because it would actually give you a true percentage of the whole of fact claims. I couldn't find a way to do that, so I'm going to keep experimenting. If anyone knows how to filter a drill down in Looker Studio, that would be great because that would I think really enhance this drill down. But yeah, so that's how you can see the subcategories of fact claims. And then when you want to come out of it, you can actually, I think you can click anywhere really, or doesn't work? Oh yeah, there's a reset button right here. And you can do the same thing with this chart as well. Drill down. Now it's giving you the same thing, but based on the bar chart, and then you can reset it. So now we're back to default, and that is it. Yeah. So thanks everyone. I appreciate it and appreciate any feedback. All right. Thanks. Bye.